Let's take a look at what happened today with Tesla. We closed at 321.67, up $10.89. That's 3.5% up. Post-market down by 14 cents. So let's take a look at the 1 hour chart right away. So yesterday we had support at 313.13. We had support there, and once we lost support, yesterday it started at 3:30 and then at 4 o'clock we lost support. We did not have at that time stochastic over 60, and when these two conditions happen, we tend to go lower. This is why I mentioned that this could be seen as a short. The shorting position would have happened this morning. But then this morning, let's take a look at the 1 hour chart. This is more precise. We opened at 312.74. Which is awfully close to 313.13, and then a couple of minutes later we were back above 313.13. So when you get ready to short a stock the next day, if you short it when it happens, this is fine, you can short it and you put your stop loss a little bit higher. If you short the next day, then you should look at where it is going to open. If it opens significantly higher than where you wanted to short, then maybe pause a little bit, wait for the first hour to go through, or at least a few 5 minutes to have a few bars on the 5 minute chart to see where things are going. And then this was pretty clear that we were going back above 313.13 very shortly. Then this invalidated the short. This is a rule that you can apply at any point in time. Because we are looking at stuff at the end of the day, then something completely different can be happening during the evening, in the morning, before the open, and the stock market opens at 9:30 Eastern time, which is quite late. So what do we do when things like this happen? We change our tune. This is not unlike a weather forecast. You see some clouds, you see a direction of the wind at a certain speed, so then you can predict where the clouds are going to go. And if the wind changes, then you need to change your prediction. So the only thing that we can do right here is follow the trends. This is a new trend. The trend changed. The wind changed direction. We need to change our mindset. And then on the 5 minute chart, we got stochastic over 60 really back after the first hour. So then, boom, we should have thought long. We should have thought long. This is what we have done on Discord. We have looked at this reversal right here, and then we saw a congestion zone at 315.44, and then we set that number as a buy signal. As a buy signal, we put a stop a bit below 315.44, but the stock price never went lower than the 21-day exponential moving average, and then we bounced on this, and then the rest is history. Right now on the 1 hour chart, we have stochastic over 60 back because of the move that we had on the 5 minute chart early in the morning. We got stochastic over 60 after 1 hour, so right here on this candle. We made another top at 321.18 and we stayed there for a couple of hours, and then we broke that, and then it was broken at 2:30 to 3:30, and then we are closing above. We are still above support at 321.18. So because of this move right now, we should be continuing. We are going to encounter some resistance at 326.34. And also around 331. It's not like Tesla is going back to 500 bucks. This is not what is happening right now. If we take a look at the daily chart, we don't have stochastic over 60 yet. We don't have DMI. We are still into a downward channel. This is the downward channel. So I am repeating myself, but we need to break these things before we are starting to think about going long on the daily chart. If we want to play, this is happening on the 1 hour chart, this is happening on the 5 minute chart, this is just play. This is having fun, making a little bit of money. But the big moves happen on the higher time frames, the daily chart, and then theoretically we can also invest or trade on the weekly chart. But few people do that, but this is something that can be done. So what could have changed the weather for Tesla overnight? Yeah, there's some news that came out. Tesla reveals Model 3 Plus and Model Y L in China as price war heats up. So let's hear about this Model Y L. which will be available in China this fall. It has 6 seats and is 7 inches longer and over an inch taller than the current Model Y. In addition to the longer base, Model YL has new wheels, new seats, a modified rear, and a new spoiler. Tesla sells the Model Y with an optional third row in the US, but with very limited legroom. So according to Electrek, the more expensive Model YL could be seen as a response to a slew of new 3-row SUVs that were recently introduced in China, including the NIO's Envo L90, which starts at the equivalent of $39,000 US. The Model YL is expected to start at over $50,000 US, which may make it a tougher sell for Tesla. Also, Tesla introduced the Model 3 Plus, which features a single motor on the rear axle, LG supplied nickel, cobalt, manganese battery, which are typically more expensive chemistry that's only available on the automaker's all-wheel drive, long-range, or performance versions. Tesla is really going for range. With this higher NMC battery, the Model 3 Plus is expected to have a longer range than the other versions of the electric sedan, although Tesla didn't disclose any numbers in its filing. So I think this is interesting. I think Elon is fighting back. He is fighting back. He wants Tesla to succeed, and he is going to do everything in order for it to happen. So he is tweaking the products, making a longer range Model 3, a 6-seater Model Y with a decent third row space. So I think Elon is back. I think he is really back. So this is going to be very interesting. So how did the rest of the market fared? Is the rest of the market doing okay? So let's first take a look at the VIX. So the VIX is the fear factor of the stock market. VIX is down 0.24. We are happy each time the VIX is down. So we had a little bit of a scare during the day. The VIX went as high as 1960. This is quite scary when we see the VIX get close to 20, but it came back down as fast, and we are still into our congestion zone. So VIX is neutral, VIX is going sideways. VIX is at 17, this is lower than 20, so we are okay with this. The bonds, after going a little bit higher, took a pause today, so this is a welcome pause. Each time the bonds go lower, this is helping the stock market as a whole. Let's take a look at Dow Jones. This is not a perfect day today, so even though this is a green day, we are still lower than where we were yesterday, and we are starting to touch the 21-day moving average. So we should be bouncing on that moving average, but it's better to be higher. SPX, this is a good day too, went lower but picked it back up. We are further away from the moving average. Nasdaq also the same kind of play right here. Still, this one is still away from the moving average. Russell, we can say that we are bouncing on the moving average. So let's hope that tomorrow things are going to pick back up better. If we take a look at the heat map of the market, a lot less red. Yesterday we had lots of red, but things are a lot better today. We had some economic data that came out today. The PPI month over month. So the US producer prices were unchanged in June from May 2025, following an upwardly revised 0.3% rise in the previous period and below forecasts of a 0.2 gain. We like to see this. We like inflation to go back down. We like the prices to go down. And also today, which might have explained this little spike in the VIX, Trump mentioned that he could be firing Jerome Powell from the Fed. This is what could have affected the market in the morning. But Trump confirmed in the afternoon that no, this is a very unlikely event, even though he says that he's not dismissing any scenarios, but this is a very unlikely event. I think that helped a little bit. Yet, Tesla is still not ready to be considered a buy on the daily chart because we are still into a downward channel. We know that. A downward channel, this is not a buy, that's for sure. This is a hold. It was a hold above 295. This is something that we can fathom. If we go lower than 295, then of course this is not going to be too nice. But above 295, things are still okay. This is not financial advice, but I would not recommend to anybody getting into Tesla right now, unless you want to roll the dice, but the stock has not showed us that it wants to go in that direction on the daily chart yet. Thanks very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great evening. We are going to talk tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.